students, in today's video we will be seeing about Sangolli Rayanna and an introduction to the rebellion of Amarasulya. Before getting into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time, please do subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. It will be a great encouragement for me. Please do click the bell button to receive notifications. Now let us get into the video. Sangolli Rayanna. Sangolli Rayanna was a brave soldier. Now in the last video we have seen about Kittur Rani Chennamma. Along with her or equal to her was another person, that is Sangolli Rayanna. His name has remained famous along with the name of Rani Chennamma. He fought for the independence of Kittur and felt that it was his duty to liberate his motherland. So Sangolli Rayanna's motherland was Kittur and he fought for the independence of his motherland. He felt that it was his duty to liberate or to free his motherland. He was imprisoned along with Rani Chennamma and was later released by the British. He fought along with Rani Chennamma, and during that time only Rani Chennamma was imprisoned in Bailongala prison, that we have already learned. Same time he also was imprisoned by the British along with Rani Chennamma, but he was later released. There are many oral histories about Rayanna. There are many stories or oral histories about Sangolli Rayanna. He developed a sense of nationalism and went on organizing an army. So as we have already studied that his main motive was to liberate his motherland, fight for the independence of his motherland. For that purpose, he organized an army. He organized secret meetings at sensitive geographical locations. So he also organized many secret meetings for planning or strategizing things. He organized secret meetings that too he organized at sensitive geographical locations. So Sangolli Rayanna was a very brave soldier. His name remained famous along with the name of Rani Chennamma. He fought for the independence of Kittur and he felt that his duty was to liberate his motherland. He was imprisoned along with Rani Chennamma, but he was later released by the British. He developed a sense of nationalism and he went on organizing an army. He organized secret meetings at sensitive geographical locations, and he also aimed at looting the treasury and taluk offices of the British. So his main aim or his plan was to loot the treasury and taluk offices of the British. So likewise he started planning different strategies how to attack the British. His army consisted of 500 men. So we know that he organized an army and he was organizing many secret meetings. His army consisted of 500 men. He was angry with the villagers who were assisting the British army. So when he was doing all these things for the liberation or for the independence of his motherland, he came to know that many of his villagers only were assisting the British army. He was very furious with this and he was very angry with the villagers who were assisting the British army. The British felt that Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Chennamma. So British had a thought that Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Chennamma. Both of them were together in the Bailongala prison. They shifted Chennamma to Kusugal prison from Bailongala. So for this purpose, they shifted Chennamma from Bailongala prison. They shifted Chennamma to Kusugal prison. The British started to plan a strategy to capture Rayanna. So the British felt that somehow they have to capture Rayanna. So they started to plan a strategy to capture Rayanna. They encouraged Desais who were opposing Rani Chennamma. So for that, Britishers needed the support of local people. So for this, they encouraged Desais. These Desais were opposing Rani Chennamma. So naturally, they will help the British to fight against or to capture Rayanna. So the British encouraged Desais to come to their side to capture Rayanna. An Amaldar named Krishna Raya joined hands with them. So the British strategy worked out and an Amaldar named Krishna Raya, an Desai or an Amaldar named Krishna Raya joined hands with the British. So now the British have the support of a local person to fight against Rayanna. So Sangolli Rayanna organized an army which consisted of 500 men. He was angry with the villagers who were assisting the British army. The British felt that Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Chennamma and they shifted Chennamma to Kusugal prison from Bailongala. the British started to plan a strategy to capture Rayanna, and they encouraged Desais who were opposing Rani Chennamma. Finally, an Amaldar named Krishna Raya joined hands with the British, and Rayanna was captured and brought down to Dharwad. So the British strategy worked out, and Rayanna was captured and he was brought down to Dharwad. Many of his soldiers surrendered after his arrest. So when his soldiers heard that their leader is arrested, so naturally the soldiers surrendered. After the arrest of Rayanna, many of his soldiers surrendered. Sanguli Rayanna was declared as an offender and was hanged till death. So the British declared him as an offender and they hanged him till death. The life and bravery of Rayanna have been kept alive till today through many ballads. So ballads are poems or songs narrating a story in short. So they are small poems, or they are small songs which tell some stories or a short story. So Rayanna's life and bravery has been kept alive till today through these ballads. So there are many poems and songs till today narrating about the life of Rayanna, about the bravery of Rayanna, and because of this Rayanna has been kept alive till today. So after Rayanna's arrest, many of his soldiers surrendered and he was declared as an offender and hanged till death, and his life and bravery have been kept alive through many ballads. So now the next topic is the rebellion of Amarasulya. In today's video we will just see an introduction, and we will go on to more explanations in the next video. Rebellion of Amarasulya. This was basically a farmers' rebellion. Rebellion of Amarasulya was basically a farmers' rebellion. Now we have to see a little bit background to understand about this rebellion. The political situations prevalent in coastal Karnataka and Kodagu regions during 1835 to 37 was the background for this rebellion. So the main background for this rebellion was a political situation in areas of coastal Karnataka and Kodagu region, especially in time of 1835 to 37. The ruler of Kodagu, that is Chikkaveera Rajendra of Haleri dynasty. That time ruler of Kodagu was Chikkaveera Rajendra of Haleri dynasty. He was dethroned by the British in 1834. He was taken away from the throne in 1834. This was the main background we have to understand. The ruler of Kodagu, Chikkaveera Rajendra of Haleri dynasty, was dethroned by the British in 1834. The king was later transferred to Vellore through Bangalore and later to Kashi. So this Kodagu king was later, after dethroning him, the Britishers transferred him to Vellore through Bangalore and later he was taken to Kashi. This incident created political instability in Kodagu. So this dethroning the king and transferring him to a different place, that incident created political instability in Kodagu. A rebellion was organized against this by three persons. The rebellion against this incident was organized by three people: Swami Aparampura, Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa. The three people who fought against this incident was Swami Aparampura, Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa. All the three declared that they are a part of Haleri dynasty that ruled Kodagu. All these three people claimed that, or they declared that they are a part of Haleri dynasty which ruled Kodagu. The leadership of the rebellion was assumed by Swami Aparampura. So in the beginning, the leadership of the rebellion was assumed by Swami Aparampura. But he was captured in 1834 by the British and he was shifted to Bangalore. So when Swami Aparampura was leading the rebellion, he was captured in 1834 and he was shifted to Bangalore. Now there were only two people left, that is Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa. Kalyana Swami was captured in 1837. So after the capturing of Swami Aparampura, later Kalyana Swami was captured in 1837 and he was placed in Mysore prison. Now Swami Aparampura is in Bangalore, Kalyana Swami is in Mysore prison, the earlier king of Kodagu is in Kashi. So the British placed them in different locations. So the rebellion of Amarasulya was basically a farmers' rebellion. This rebellion was started because of some political situations which existed in coastal Karnataka and Kodagu region in the time of almost 1835 to 37. The main reason was the British dethroned the ruler of Kodagu, that is Chikkavira Rajendra of Haleri dynasty in 1834. He was transferred to Vellore through Bangalore and later to Kashi. This created a lot of political instability. And a rebellion was organized by Swami Aparampura, Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa. All the three were part of Haleri dynasty that ruled Kodagu. The leadership of rebellion was assumed by Swami Aparampura and he was captured in 1834 and shifted to Bangalore. After that, Kalyana Swami was captured in 1837 and he was placed in Mysore prison. In this video, we have seen about Sangolli Rayana and about the rebellion of Amrasulya. The balance points about the rebellion of Amrasulya we will continue in the next video. So I hope you have understood all the points clearly. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.